Let's talk about the Mike Todd stuff. I saw this on TikTok. I think Mike Todd was getting a haircut in church, and he's doing this series where he's talking about the fruits of the spirit. And in this particular message, and I tried to watch it because I understand that I will watch a clip and I won't even really get the full context of a clip sometimes, and I'll just run with that clip. I tried to watch the full message. I really couldn't get through it. I really couldn't get through it, just to keep it real. But let me play this clip, and I'm gonna play some other clips as well, and then we'll have a conversation. All right.
As an illustration of what God's going to do in our lives, and I'm going to get a haircut on stage in front of you, something that is usually done in private.
Well, I mean, that's not. Hold on. This. Did you hear that lady? Hold on.
I'm gonna do it.
She said, "This is so good." Okay. Normally, when you get haircuts, unless you just got a bag, and unless you're rich and you're a celebrity, haircuts are not done in private. Like, you go to the barbershop and it's in public and everyone's getting a haircut. But maybe he's talking about for himself, because he might have like a barber who comes to his house and cuts his hair. But nonetheless, I'm nitpicking on that. I'm nitpicking. All right, but let's continue. I'm tired. I'm tired. Hold on. I'm tired. Let me get a sip of water real quick. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's watch this illustration.
Illustration of what God's going to do in our lives. And I'm going to get a haircut on stage in front of you, something that is usually done in private. I'm going to do it openly.
She said, "This is so good." He said he's going to get a haircut on stage as an illustration to what God's going to do in your life. And this woman said, "This is so good." Okay.
In front of you, so that you can see the benefit of a fresh cut. Aaron, my barber and friend, is going to come. Y'all give it up for Aaron real quick as he comes. Now, this is my dog, and I'm gonna let him set up, but he is actually terrified of what we're about to do, because what I'm about to do is very dangerous. Because the level of passion that I preach with and the level of wanting you to get it really affects potentially the way that somebody could actually cut my hair. And this is not rehearsed or planned or practiced. This is about to be very fresh. But I want you to know from the scripture, watch this point, write it down. I'm gonna preach this whole time while he's cutting me. He got the, brother, how are you feeling right now? Are you feeling great? Our friendship is on the line. Write this down. You're getting cut either way. You're getting cut either way. You about to, no, not this black thing. Today is watermelon. I don't want this. Use my cape.
Somebody in the comments. Oh my gosh, hold on. Somebody said, Psalmist Nicole Richmond said, "We're tired, sir." I'm very tired of these conversations, but they keep popping up. So let's have them, I guess. But it's kind of exhausting, because it goes back to literally what we were just talking about in the last story with Jackie Hill Perry. 2 Timothy 4. Preach the word. Preach the word. And like I said, I get it. I understand. I didn't watch the whole message, and I'm just watching one clip. But I don't need all of this. And it kind of makes you think. And it begs the question, how much preparation is going into the illustrations? And how much of that time could be used to just study and then to present what God was speaking to you in your study time to your congregation, as opposed to present a fancy new illustration of you getting a haircut? You know?
There we go. Gotta be on brand. Thank you, Jesus. Somebody say you're getting cut it either way. This is God's process. Cutting is God's process of eliminating what isn't producing fruit. And it's also his way of expanding what is producing fruit. So if you don't embrace God cutting you, you are not actually getting the best out of what you have. Yeah. And one cut is going to cause you pain. Remember, the scripture says, anybody who's not producing fruit, he cuts them off and throws them away. But the people who are producing fruit, he cuts them so that they can have more fruit. What I found out is one cut is full of pain and the other cut is full of promise. What I'm trying to get everybody in this room under the sound of my voice to realize is, God, in 2024, when you yell by faith, more fruit in my marriage, more fruit in my finances, more fruit in my business, more fruit in my family, he says, let me grab my scissors. Are you ready to be cut? The thing that really brought me a lot of peace, because when I was asked that by the Holy Spirit, am I ready to get cut? My answer was no. Because all my life, cut has been associated with something that is either bad, hurtful, painful, or an accident that could end deadly. Don't play with them scissors since you're young.
So that's one clip. I don't even know if I have another clip. I don't even know if I have another clip. Is it this one?
What's up, brother? You good? What's your name, man? Alan. Nice to meet you, bro. What's that baby? That baby like orange juice. That baby got a chain on. That baby need an orange. Look. Baby 2 days old with a chain. Black people. Here we go. You want an orange? Where y'all go to school? Nowhere. You look young. You're blessed. What's up, B? Here you go. What's up, fam? You good? It's good to see you. You want fruit? Your daddy, he want the fruit, Dad. I'll give you another one. What's up, Vic? You be telling me to eat fruit all the time. Come on. It's my trainer right here. Take all this fruit. What's up, Big Daddy? You should be able to see the impact of my life, not by where I tell you I've been. Oh, it's dark on the camera. It doesn't matter where I'm at. You can see my fruit. Oh, you want some? He said, over here, over here. Do you see what happens when you start to produce fruit? You become desirable. I haven't stopped to watch anybody eat the fruit. I just produce it and drop it off. At the gym, at the job, wherever I go, my life should be producing fruit. The saddest part about this moment right now are there are thousands of people around me that desire the fruit, but the bag is empty. So until I flipped it over, nobody even knew that I still didn't have any fruit. And this is the season where God's exposing people. He's turning the bags over. Saying that marriage look good on Instagram, no fruit. That business, they act like they drive a Lamborghini, they in so much debt, no fruit. No fruit. So what happens when the church tells the world, come and see our Jesus? No fruit. Come and meet the God that changed my life. Didn't he change your life 15 years ago? Yes. What has happened since then? Nothing. I just carry around my fruit sack. I judge other people for not bearing fruit. Your fruit should be riper than that, man of God. Where have you dropped off any fruit? I know. From now on, I'm not going to try to prove anybody wrong. I'm going to just say this small phrase in my head. Look at my fruit. People can say anything they want about this church. I'm not perfect. I mess up daily. I'm still trying to figure out how to be a pastor. If anybody wants to take my position, you can have.
I wish I would have ended that clip. That was getting kind of interesting. I'm still trying to figure out how to be a pastor. At least he's honest.
Can we talk about Mike Todd real quick? Real quick, I get on TikTok this morning and there are 2 videos of Mike Todd going viral. I'm only going to address one of them because the other is just like typical Mike Todd shenanigans and antics. The video that I'm talking about is of Mike Todd seemingly talking to his congregation based on the responses of the peanut gallery in the background. He is seemingly talking to the congregation. He's looking directly at the camera and he is saying another staff member of Transformation Church left the church because God called them to. And I'm not dramatizing the air quotes. He literally says, because God called them to. And after all these years of us knowing each other, they couldn't even, justify it with a real response. Like, give me the real response. The red flags with this man are flying. They are really flying. And you were talking to someone who used to be Transformation Church down, okay? Especially during COVID. Mike Todd was the only person that I was listening to. I was only watching Transformation Church. Like, I was locked in. All I'll say is this. There is no world where a pastor should be getting in front of the congregation and shading another member of the congregation for making a decision to leave a church. There's also no reason a pastor should get in front of the church and publicly mock what someone believes God has told them. Ever. I also don't understand why Mike Todd is acting confused, because as someone who is not a staffer of the church, I believe that Mike Todd has given people a lot of reasons to want to step away from the church. And people want to focus on actually learning the Bible and learning the word and not so much the theatrics of it all. Like maybe it was you spitting on your brother's face. That Easter service, I remember a lot of people were upset about it. Their other video that went viral this morning is him pouring syrup and whipped cream all over the Bible. Like, there's reasons. And you can argue how effective his tactics are all day till you're blue in the face. Like, some people love it, some people don't. I honestly think it's a style preference. I will say this. The video that I'm addressing of him calling out that member of the staff is dangerous for 2 reasons. Number one, to me, it shows that he's leading with a lot of ego. And I don't think that that ever ends well when you are leading a church. Because what happens is that people see that you're leading with ego and you're not leading with God's direction, and then people actually step away from the church. This actually happened to me. I was listening to Transformation Church during COVID religiously, and then I just kind of, a couple of things just kept happening with Mike Todd that I was like, I'm gonna actually just take a step back from this, but I didn't step into a different church. It took me a couple of months to actually be like, okay, let me try church again, because I had felt like I'd put so much time and energy into Mike Todd for just him to disappoint me. And that's something that I've had to kind of check myself on, is that Christianity is about God, not a pastor. But at the same time, that is what you're at danger for. Secondly, getting in front of a congregation and shaming anyone for leaving the church, it sounds a lot like a different term. that I won't even say. And I'm not saying that if you listen to Transformation Church, you should stop, but I am saying just be careful, because the video that I saw of him shading that staff member did not sit well with me at all.
Sounds a little cultish. Let me see if I can find that video. Mike Todd, staffer. Mike Todd, I think it's this one right here.
Another staff member just left, and all they said was it's because God called them somewhere else.
Oh my goodness, she was not lying. The air quotes is a little much.
Another staff member just left, and all they said was it's because God called them somewhere else. After 6 years, you can't even tell me the real reason? But you do subliminal Instagram posts?
They should have left a long time ago.
Huh. It sounds kind of cultish. And that's kind of what happens sometimes when you have somebody who's so charismatic and you have somebody who's so likable and who is naturally funny and good with words and just naturally just can connect and can relate with people. You start to let certain things slide. And I think that's what a lot of people are allowing to happen in Transformation Church. A lot of this stuff, and I could sit here until like some of y'all be telling me, and y'all be sitting here until y'all like blue in the face, just telling me like, watch the full sermon, get the full context, do that. Like, but some things I don't necessarily need to see the full background as to why you poured syrup on the Bible. It's just you know what I'm saying? It's like some things it's just like you just find a different way to get your point across. It's so much theatrics, it's so much entertainment, it's so much, it just doesn't make sense. Is there a full video to this? Let me see.
Another staff member just left, and
no, that's not it. Hold on. Let me try to find one more video. Hold on. Oh, wait. What's her name? What's her name? Oh my gosh, I forgot her name. Hold on. I'm trying to find a video real fast. Is it this one? It might be this one. Let me see.
all they said was it's because God called them somewhere else.
Okay, so this is my very first time ever speaking on Mike Todd, and I've never wanted to give him any attention, I'm going to be real, because I feel like everybody else has already, all the time, given him enough attention. But concerning this matter, maybe I guess this is the first time I felt led to speak. Number one, he is dead wrong to even sit here and, try to put in some air quotes about what someone told him that God told them. And then the guy that I got this snippet from was even saying that it was wrong for the person to say what they said, basically, and that they should have given him an explanation, when really it was nothing wrong with what the person said to Mike, saying, yes, I'm leaving the church because God called me somewhere else. God is not man, and man is not God. We owe no man an explanation but God. It was nothing wrong with what that person had told him. Nothing wrong with saying what they said at all. So to even sit here and act like it was wrong and that God can't tell people, hey, move on. God can't tell people, hey, don't give an explanation. God can't tell them, hey, this is all you need to say. Or God can't tell them, hey, this is what I'm just telling you and I'm not even explaining to you. And this is all you'll need to know for right now, but this is where I'm moving you. Really saying God can't say that? That's wrong. I'm sorry. And I don't agree with that. Now, speaking on Mike's preaching in general, he was never for me. I remember when someone first showed me him like 3 or 4 years ago. And I was like, because I've never liked kiddie teaching. Like, I felt like his teaching were for teenagers. Like, no kidding. Like, it wasn't even about his popularity or not. I don't even know if he was that popular at the time. I really don't even believe he was like as big as he is now as a name, but he was getting there and he was getting known or something. And then this person that was showing me was like, you know, I always listen to him, but I looked at how they walk and I'm like, if you always listen to him and I really don't feel moved by him, I really feel like I shouldn't be listening to him because your walk hasn't changed. I'm not even trying to be rude about this person, but I'm like, the way I see you living, you don't seem convicted at all about anything that you do, you know, and if he makes you feel comfortable, you know, however you do it. I'm not trying to base their actions on the preachers because that can be anybody. A preacher can be a preacher, but I just wasn't feeling led by him. You know, I was just kind of like, I feel like worldly people being comfortable with certain preachers tells me everything that I need to know. You know, there's no conviction there and there's something not really being said, or, you know, it's too playful. And I don't like that cookie cutter stuff. I like very nitty gritty, very mature, very deep, and filled with wisdom teachings. Like, you use the most articulate, advanced wording, and that's just me. But other than that, when you go toddler or like specifically are speaking to like young people or teenagers, sometimes even young adults, I feel like I'm a little bit more, although I'm a young adult, I feel like I need to hear more than that. I need to hear it like I'm 50 years old, but whatever. Even as a teenager, when my mom would try to drop me and my siblings off at youth church, I used to be like, I want to go to the big building. I don't want to go to the youth service. She was like, no, you guys need to hear this. And I'm like 14. I'm like, no, it's just too kiddie. Like, I need to hear more. So partially just me. I'm not saying something is wrong exactly, but I haven't followed his teachings at all. Like, I haven't even really, I've just seen little things that he's said that I haven't fully agreed with or haven't really felt, you know, really connected with. So that's my whole thing. But overall, I do think that what he was doing was wrong, you know, trying to quote someone and low-key comfort them, you know, because he was hurt by them leaving. I understand being hurt, but I just feel like for you to act like that was a wrong thing for them to say, I think that was childish and not really of God. Sorry. I'm gonna have to move on from that one, Mike. But God bless you, and may you grow from these experiences.
I think, you know, I always say that I don't want to talk about the Mike Todd stuff and like I'm done with it and stuff like that. But I think subconsciously I'm very much interested in what is gonna pan out because I used to watch Transformation Church and I used to feel as if the teaching was profitable. And this was a time where I was very early on in my faith walk and I didn't really know anything. I didn't know anything. I was just going on YouTube, literally typing in sermon, and then Transformation Church would pop up, or Elevation, Tony Evans, Joyce Meyer. Those are like the most popular people, Joel Osteen. All of those people would pop up, right? And this is like very early on in my faith walk. And just naturally, out of those options that I saw, I was just gravitated towards Mike Todd because like he's a cool looking dude, black guy, like, you know, something I could relate to. And I was watching it very early on and I felt like, wow, this is helping me. This is, you know, teaching me new things. It's challenging me. But then over time, the shift started to happen and I started to seek more. I started to seek more meat. I feel like his teaching is more on the side of like milk. You know what I'm saying? I started to seek more like solid food. Things that really challenged me, things that really gave me deeper context into the scriptures, things that really taught me the deeper historical, you know, meaning and the deeper historical facts related to the Bible and just the theology and the different, just all that different stuff. I got way more interested in that and way less interested in just like the illustrations and the entertainment. So I think subconsciously I'm still kind of invested, even though I say I'm not, because at one point in time, I used to watch Transformation Church pretty often. And I'll say it and I'll say it again. Like, I want nothing but the best for them because there's so many people that still go to that church. There's so many people that watch every single Sunday. Just look at their numbers on YouTube. Um, and I want those people to be saved, and I want those people to walk righteously, and I want those people to truly know Jesus Christ, you know. But it just it just looks off. There's just so much about it that just looks off, you know.